Hey guys, it's me Suja over here. Welcome back to another video. On this video, I'm going to be talking about why are NRIs disliked in India. I got this email from one of my subscribers. He is an NRI. Now, if you don't know what the meaning of NRI, it stands for non-residential Indians, specific for Indian nationals who have not been residing in the country, which is India, for a prolonged period of time, and they have a different residence. So I'm included in that category. So I am a non-residential Indian. I'm an NRI. So, because most of my life I've always been living outside my country. So let's do a bit of introduction right now. Already pretty much stuffed after eating a lot of Indian food. Feel quite heavy. Unlike eating Vietnamese food where I don't feel very much stuffed. Yeah, all right. So if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. The name of my channel is called the Sujo in Vietnam. I've been living in Vietnam for over 7 years, and I was an English teacher before for 4.5 years. Then I started my online digital marketing business, and I'm also a full-time YouTuber. So if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, just hit the subscribe button. It takes less than 2 seconds, and that way you can support my work and my content. So I'm pretty much stuffed right now. I had a lot of dinner, just having a bit of jizz to lighten up my stomach. All right, so one of my subscribers, he sent me an email because I do have my business email mentioned on my YouTube channel. So he sent me an email and it was pretty much interesting and I can pretty much relate to it. So he told me that he's been living right now in India for 1 month. I won't name the city or the state. Um, and already he's finding it very challenging. Um, like on a daily basis, living out here in India as an NRI, non-residential Indian. Um, he talks about, you know, people are finding him very different. His communication style, his way of thinking, his attitude, and they can make out he's a different Indian, right? He's a different Indian. So I just want to talk about it, and he's talking about the challenges. He gets a lot of stares, because people can make out, they think like he's a foreigner. He's not Indian. I mean, being an NRI doesn't mean you're not an Indian. You are an Indian. But the only difference is you have not been living in the country for a long time. You have been outside the country for a prolonged, for more than 6 months or for more than a year or whatever. Um, and of course, you have a different residence also altogether. So he constantly gets those looks and it makes him feel very uncomfortable. And he actually spoke about one of my videos, which I had made about why do Indians make other Indians feel uncomfortable. I'm going to keep I'm going to keep that video when I end this video, so you can watch that also. So yeah, if you're an Indian watching this, watch it with the open mindset. Um, my channel is straight up no BS. I like to document myself wherever I go, or even if I'm in India or in Vietnam or in Thailand or whatever. And I like to talk about the reality. So if you have like sensitive skin, or if you're a sensitive Indian person, you can skip this video. But if you are an open-minded Indian and if you want to change the society, the mentality, the Indian mentality, which frankly speaking sucks till date. Um, if you want to change it altogether, if you want to have an understanding, you need to watch this video, right? So, um, a lot of food, man. Too much stuff with Indian food. I love Indian food. I love curry. Just my maid, she made a lot of food today. I think I overate a lot. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, I can pretty much relate to that. To if you, and I know you're watching this video, my subscriber, my dear subscriber, who has actually written me that interesting email this morning, and I'm making this video right now at night. It's around 10 p.m., right? So yeah, I mean, basically there somebody told me, I saw in one of the YouTube channels, about this dude, this YouTuber. He's got a lot of tattoos on his face. He's a non-residential Indian. He's an NRI. So he told on the video, NRI for normally for Indians living in India stands for not required Indians. Like these Indians, you're not contributing to the Indian economy. We don't like the way you think. We don't like your Western mindset or your international mindset or whatever. We just like the way we are here in India, like the the Indian mentality, the typical Indian mentality, gossipy, and the list goes on. See, I mean, from my personal point of view, being an NRI, non-residential Indian, which I am, and I do understand it's very challenging when you come to India for, like, the first week when you're in here in India. Um, it's going to be very, let's say, first week or first 2 weeks. It's going to be very different, and you're going to be feeling like, okay, I'm feeling very good right now. I'm here in India. I feel, I have a lot. I'm getting a lot of freedom. I can, try a lot of different Indian food. You know, you have that fling, which other Indian people will realize that, oh, you're coming from overseas. Fuck. You're coming from overseas. You are different, and you got that zing going around, and you feel like, oh, I'm feeling good. People are smiling around. Look, I'm eating pani puri and all that shit. A lot of Indian food I'm eating. It's all together. Let's try this. Let's go here. Whatever. The first 2 weeks, I would say, it's like the honeymoon week, right? um, but as you're going to be, if you want to stay here like for 2 months, 3 months, like I'm now staying out here for 3 months right now. um, and I'm doing this as like a social experiment to document myself, my daily challenges over here. After the honeymoon phase gets over, and if you're staying out here, people will start thinking, oh, will treat you like the same, right? They may, you will realize that when you're walking around the streets, or the style, the fashion you got, or whatever. People will look at you, like here in India, they may not, they will stare at you, but they'll not stare at you with a smile. Majority of the time, they'll just give you that dead stare. And I've had a lot of stares from girls, from Indian girls, like they'll just look at me, and they'll just talk some shit, smack behind my back or whatever, or they'll just give you that shitty look. And that's the reason why most of the Indian girls, when they go overseas, they are all singles. They have difficult time getting boyfriends or whatever if they are single or whatever. Um, so it's just that, and of course you get a lot of stares. So my advice is, if you're an RI coming to India, and if you're going to be staying out here, if you're going to be staying out here for a month or 2 months or whatever, um, just try to know the ins and outs. try to know the ins and outs as quickly as possible. Try to dress very simple. Try to kind of blend in with the environment. There's nothing much you can do. Because the last thing you want is a lot of people staring at you, or giving you that dead stare, or last thing is you don't want to fall in trouble. It's very easy over here, in India, to get into trouble. You got to mind your business, um, you know because like it's very easy to get into some arguments, some fights, or whatever. Already I'm experiencing, like, these rude delivery guys, when they come, when I'm ordering from Amazon or whatever. Like a couple of these delivery guys are super fucking rude. They'll mistreat you. So you got to be very thick skinned if you're going to be coming to India. Yeah, that's what I can say. You got to be very thick skinned out here. India is not for beginners. You have to be very thick skinned. Just mind your business. And the other suggestion is, like, if you don't know anyone out here in India, and if you're just living with your family, um, or if you're just alone out here like me, just mind your business. Like, don't get into other people's business, or don't try to be overly friendly with other Indian people, because that's where you may fall into some. That's where they may start. What do I say? You wouldn't be the level of their thinking would be different compared to the level of thinking which you have overseas. So they want to understand. So it's going to be very difficult for you. Ideally, keep your trip short. Like, if you're coming out here, just, yeah, I mean, if you're an NRI, like my brother, he's an American. He's been living in the US for over 20 years. My dad, he's a green card. So usually when they come to India, they stay for like maximum 2 weeks, and then they go back. Um, as for me, I'm out here because I just want to see how much I can take. It's just like you can say, it's like a social experiment where I'm trying to document myself, my daily challenges of being out here in India, and of course, also focusing on my online business, whatever. So people, and the people over here in India, they will quickly make out that you're different. You're not from here. You're coming from outside the country or whatever. So that's all right. The first week, first 2 weeks, it's everything is like you're in a Bollywood environment or whatever. But as you're living out here for a month or 2 months, the reality will kick in. So you got to be very thick-skinned, and of course, you need to, like, I have good command over, like, I can speak Hindi, which is the Indian language, properly. I mean, I'm from Delhi actually, but I can speak Hindi properly. So I try to be as localized as possible, so that the people don't suspect that, okay, this guy is from somewhere else. And also, you got to be careful of the scams, right? So, like, if you're taking tuk tuk over here, or auto or whatever, if you show that I'm a different type of Indian, or I'm coming from overseas or whatever, they'll charge you a lot of money. So you got to be a bit, use, like Uber, use the Uber app, or use the Ola app or whatever. Try to keep yourself engaged with some activities. That's what I can say. Like, for me, I work out 5 times a week, during the evenings, and from morning to evening, like morning, before morning to afternoon, I focus on my online business, do a lot of content work, and all these other things. What's that? All right. And of course, I limit myself going out too much. The only time I go out from my house is during the evening times. I go for my evening walks. I just put my earbuds, listen to some music, go for a walk where I feel a bit comfortable, and I come back home. I don't want to go to any crowded markets or crowded streets or whatever. Because, like I said, if you're an NRI, you got to be careful. You can fall into trouble. Like, because most of the people, the locals over here, they won't understand that, oh, you're coming from overseas or whatever. They'll look at you just like an Indian. So be careful. Like I mean, if I compared with Vietnam, Vietnam is far safer. And of course, it depends which states you're living in India. Like if you're going to be living in Delhi or whatever, you got to be careful. There are different states here in India which are safe. Fortunately, the state where I'm staying, Maharashtra, it's a very safe state. Um, and I think even Karnataka is also a very safe state. Um, I think the remaining south of India is also very safe. But if you're going to be living in Delhi and you're living in all those other locations, because I am from Delhi, um, I remember my two cousin sisters. They, of course, one is right now in the UK. She's married to a Punjabi guy. She's got two kids. She's a UK citizen, and my other cousin sister, she lives in Delhi. She's married to a wealthy family. But I remember those days when I was in Delhi, like just for a visit when I used to go. My cousin's sisters, they wouldn't be able to step outside the house after 8 p.m. or whatever because, my uncle was pretty strict, just be at home because, a lot of shit goes around and you got to be careful. So, yes, I do understand what you were trying to convey to me on that email. And it's glad that I brought this. I'm glad you brought that topic up. And, I just wanted to talk about this. So, yeah, and even like I've experienced this, like when I came to India this time when I was like not for me, but I could see some other like a couple of NRIs, like when they give the passport and all that. The immigration officers are pretty rude. They just like, I'm not saying all. Some are really nice, but you can make out how they interact with NRIs. Because you're not living in the country, you're not contributing much to the economy. You're just and you're not blended with the Indian environment. Your mindset is different. You have that international mindset. How you dress and everything. So be a bit careful. Don't flash a lot around. That's why I can say don't do a lot of flashing around that. Oh, I'm an NRI here in India or whatever. Because some people may not take it nicely, and maybe you could fall into trouble or whatever. So yes, don't get me wrong. I love my country. I love India. I love Indian food. I love being among my people. But they don't know. They don't know like my international experience, or they don't know your international experience or whatever. So, and the mentality, of course, the Indian mentality or whatever. Um, Keep yourself productive if you're going to be living here in India for a month or two or whatever. Keep yourself productive and just so these are a couple of tips which I actually gave you. What else did I forget? Something? Um, no, that's it. I think that's all I got to say, right? So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, are you an NRI? Are you facing challenges here in India? Like, how long have you been living over here? Do you see some difference, some challenges, or whatever? I would love to hear from you. And if you're an Indian, and and for my Indian audience who are not NRIs or whatever, watch this video with an open mindset, right? So if you like watching this video, make sure to like my video and all the good stuff. And if you found this video to be informational, you can always buy me a coffee. The link is down in the description below. So with that being said, you guys have a great day. a great evening. This was me, Joy. Peace out.